2025 is a wrap, but its masterpieces remain. Scoring over 90 on Metacritic is no small feat. It means we're looking at near perfection. In this video, we're diving into the 90 plus club, the game that managed to win over the toughest critics this year and write their names in history. Let's dive in. Number 6. Hollow Knight, Silksong, Meta. 90. Developer, Team Cherry. Release platforms, PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series. After years of waiting and total radio silence, the small but genius team at Team Cherry finally dropped Hollow Knight, Silksong, proving that our patience was totally worth it. In this sequel, you step into the shoes of Hornet, the princess protector of Hollow Nest. Unlike the first game, which was a story about descending into darkness, this one is all about ascending. Hornet has been kidnapped and taken to the distant, cursed kingdom of Farloom, a land ruled by Song and Silk. To find the truth and regain her freedom, she has to fight her way up to the shining citadel at the very peak. Gameplay-wise, Silksong is a massive evolutionary leap. While the knight from the first game was a silent warrior who relied on heavy hits, Hornet is the definition of speed, acrobatics, and grace. She can mantle ledges, move way faster, and her healing system is instant, unlike the slow focus from the last game, which ramps up the combat rhythm to a crazy level. The tool system has replaced the charms, giving you endless strategic variety. Visually, it stays true to that beautiful hand-drawn style, but with a more diverse color palette, more detailed animations, and the dynamic environments of Farloom, it stands a head and shoulders above Hollow Knight. And Christopher Larkin's soundtrack, once again, is absolutely magical and epic. Silksong isn't just a game, it's a perfect symphony of action and exploration that's going to set the benchmark for this genre for years to come. Number 5. Donkey Kong Bananza, Meta. 91. Developer, Nintendo EPD. Release platforms, Nintendo Switch 2. With the release of Donkey Kong Bananza in the summer of 2025, Nintendo didn't just deliver one of the best launch titles for the new Nintendo Switch 2. They created one of the most creative 3D platformers in history. Developed by the legendary Nintendo EPD team, this game takes Donkey Kong off his usual island and sends him deep underground. The story is simple but catchy. DK teams up with Pauline, who plays a key role now, to journey to the planet's core in search of a legendary treasure that grants wishes. Pauline just wants to get back to the surface, but DK? Well, he just wants those golden bananas, aka Banandium gems. Gameplay-wise, Bananza is a total revolution for the series. The core experience is built on environmental destructibility. The power of the Switch 2 allows DK to smash through almost any surface, dig tunnels, and carve out new paths. It offers freedom reminiscent of Super Mario Odyssey, but with that heavy, satisfying physics unique to DK. The new Bananza transformations feature also shakes things up. Pauline's singing can morph DK into different forms, like a speedster zebra or other powerful variations. The two-player co-op, where the second player controls Pauline and her sound attacks, is easily one of the best multiplayer experiences of the year. Visually, the game is a technical showcase for Nintendo's new console. Dynamic lighting in crystal caves, highly detailed fur textures on DK, and massive environments with zero loading screens are just stunning. With a skyrocketing Metascore and millions sold in the first week, it took home the Best Family Game Award at the Game Awards 2025, proving that the old Nintendo ape can still wear the crown of the platforming king. Number 4. Split Fiction, Meta. 91. Developer, Hazelight Studios. Release platforms, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC. Dropped in March 2025, this game proved once again that this studio is the undisputed king of narrative co-op games. The story revolves around two writers, Mio and Zoe. One's a hardcore sci-fi geek, and the other is obsessed with fantasy. Through a freak accident, they get trapped in a world created by their own mashed up imaginations, and they have to put their differences aside to escape. The clash between robots and dragons creates a narrative that's funny, emotional, and deeply creative. Gameplay-wise, Split Fiction is a total masterclass in level design. The split screen isn't just a limitation here, it's actually a core part of the mechanics. 1 minute you're in a laser shootout in a cyberpunk city, and the next you're riding a phoenix solving magical puzzles. The variety is insane, from platforming and third-person shooters to rhythm and racing minigames. No mechanic ever feels repetitive, and the game constantly surprises you and your partner with fresh ideas. Visually, the contrast between the cold, neon sci-fi world and the warm, organic fantasy realm delivers some breathtaking graphics on Gen 9 consoles and PC. Split Fiction isn't just a game, it's a love letter to the power of imagination and the joy of playing together. Number 3. Blueprints. Meta. 92. Developer, Dogubomb. Release platforms, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC. Blueprints, coming from the indie studio Dogubomb and the well-known publisher Raw Fury, is one of those titles that just smashes genres together and redefines what puzzle and strategy games can be. The story follows Simon, who inherits the mysterious and legendary Mount Holly estate. But this isn't your average mansion. Rumor has it that room 46 hides a massive secret, and Simon has to uncover it before the house literally rejects him. The narrative is mysterious, minimal, and full of architectural metaphors that really immerse you in this isolated, cerebral vibe. The gameplay in Blueprints is where the dev's genius really shines. Unlike typical adventure games where you move through a fixed map, here you are the architect. Every morning, using a card drafting system, you have to place rooms one by one to form hallways and chamber. Every step you take consumes energy, and if you run out before finding key rooms, the day resets. Classic roguelite elements. The real challenge is strategically managing your layout to hit objectives, find key items, and solve environmental puzzles. This mechanic makes every playthrough feel totally unique. Visually, the game uses a minimalist style and a specific color palette that reminds you of architectural blueprints. The design is simple but super chic, and it perfectly conveys that eerie atmosphere of the manor without needing heavy textures. Critics from sites like IGN and GameSpot praise the game for its bold innovation in mixing construction strategy with first-person adventure. Gamers have even nicknamed it Spatial Tetris or Architectural Chess because of how it challenges your brain. Even though indie puzzle games don't usually see blockbuster sales, Blueprint cemented itself as one of the year's biggest indie hits, completely winning over fans of the puzzle genre. Number 2. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Meta. 92. Developer, Sandfall Interactive. Release platforms, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC. When the newly formed French studio, Sandfall Interactive, dropped their first trailer, everyone was blown away by the stunning visuals. But honestly, few people predicted that by the end of 2025, it would actually snatch the crown for Game of the Year. The story takes place in a fantasy world inspired by France's Belle Epoque era, a world living under the dark shadow of the paintress. Every year, she wakes up and paints a number on a monolith. Everyone of that specific age just turns to dust. This year, the number is 33, and you are in charge of Expedition 33, a group of heroes on an impossible mission to destroy the paintress before the cycle ends. It's a tragic, epic, and deeply human story that really hits home for any gamer. Gameplay-wise, Clair Obscur started a revolution in the turn-based RPG genre. The combat system, which the devs call reactive turn-based, is a brilliant mix of classic JRPG strategy and the thrill of action games. You issue an attack command, but you have to react in real time to dodge, parry, and button mash to boost your damage. This system makes the combat rhythm so engaging that even people who don't usually like turn-based games fell in love with it. Visually, the use of Unreal Engine 5 has created some breathtaking landscapes. From floating mountain to Gothic architecture, everything is designed with such insane detail that it blurs the line between reality and dream. This game proved that with creativity and innovation, even a studio's debut title can take down the industry giants and create a legacy that lasts forever. Number 1. Hades 2, Meta 95. Developer, Supergiant Games. Release platforms, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2P. Supergiant Games has always been famous for their unwritten rule of never making sequels. Well, with Hades 2, they finally broke that spell. This game isn't just a direct sequel to the 2020 masterpiece. It's carrying a ton of expectations while trying to carve out its own identity. Unlike the first game, which was basically the story of Zagreus trying to run away from home, Hades 2 tells a much darker and more epic tale. This time, you play as Melinoe, the immortal princess of the underworld and Zagreus' sister. Your mission? To defeat your grandfather, Kronos, the Titan of Time, who has escaped his prison and captured Hades and the rest of Olympus. The story has really shifted from a family drama into a full-blown war to save the world. Gameplay-wise, that addictive fast-paced roguelike core is still there, but Melinoe fights totally differently from her brother. If Zagreus was a rebellious, physical brawler, Melinoe is a witch. The addition of a magic bar and Omega abilities has doubled the tactical depth of the game. Plus, the upgrade system involving tarot cards and gathering resources to craft potions adds new layers that make it feel even more complex and rich than the first game. Visually, it still rocks that stunning painterly art style by Gen Z, but with way more detail, dynamic environments, and the smoother animations that really flex the technical power of Supergiant's engine.